Hello and welcome to the Webcast for Wednesday, May 13th. I'm South Ops meteorologist Jonathan O'Brien. It is a May gray day across the region with a deep marine layer firmly entrenched and low clouds all the way back to the lower coastal slopes. We will see steady clearing today, but it will definitely take a while the closer to the coast that you get. We also still have some mid and high cloudiness across the interior as a weak trough passes north of our region. Here's a look at yesterday's lightning map, and we did indeed see a little bit of dry thunderstorm activity across the Sierra with about 10 lightning strikes recorded. So as expected, not too big of a deal, but we should consider it a dodged bullet, as on a day like yesterday, it doesn't take much to go from an innocuous 10 or so dry strikes to a much more problematic couple of hundred dry strikes. The next couple of days are looking pretty quiet weather-wise, with some very typical May conditions as weak high pressure builds in off the Pacific. Temperatures will run near to a few degrees above average through Thursday, with 70s and low 80s in the Southern California valleys, 80s to low 90s in the San Joaquin Valley and high desert, and 60s to low 70s in the lower mountains. Minimum humidity will be mainly between 15 and 30% above and inland from the marine influence through Thursday, and as we saw, it is a deep marine layer of around 3,000 feet. And westerly winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts to 50 miles per hour will continue to surface, but mainly just across the interior mountain ridges and desert passes of Southern California, with gusty winds not as widespread as we saw on Tuesday. Friday will see a few degrees of warming, mainly across the interior, and humidity will start to trend a little lower, and those breezy west to northwest winds will start to trend more widespread, so overall Friday is definitely a little sportier of a day than the next couple. As we head into this weekend, weak Pacific high pressure for the next couple of days will give way to a very pronounced inside slider troughing pattern across the interior west, bringing some changes in our weather. Temperature-wise, we will see some cooling with valley highs this weekend falling into the 70s and 80s, still right around normal for this time of year. But as we often see with inside sliders, there will also be a significant drying effect, especially across the interior. While a marine influence will likely remain present, minimum humidity will fall into the upper single digits and teens inland from the marine influence, considerably drier than where we'll be at the next couple of days. In addition, as that inland troughing pattern develops, a potentially lengthy period of gusty north to northwest winds is looking more likely for much of this weekend. The greatest concerns look to be from the interior central coast down to Santa Barbara County, the LA and Ventura County mountains and north wind-prone passes, and up to the Mojave Slopes. We'll be better refining the details of timing and more exact wind speeds over the next couple of days, but as the model forecast here shows, areas of wind gusts at or above 50 miles per hour look to be possible. By early next week, a gradual warming trend is likely as high pressure builds back in behind the departing inside slider. We should expect continued dry conditions, but winds should trend towards being light overall by early next week. Dead fuel moistures will generally remain on steady or falling trends the next several days, but with some relief west of the coastal slopes due to the marine influence. Still, most dead and live fuel moistures across the low and mid elevations are trending below normal for this time of year, and ERCs are mostly above normal. So while we're definitely not in critical territory, in many cases our background ambient fire danger is looking more like what you'd expect in mid-June versus mid-May. There will remain a daily moderate risk for a new large fire through early next week due to areas of warm, dry, and breezy conditions away from the marine influence. There will be potential for rapid rates of spread on well-aligned starts during the peak burn window, and moderate initial attack activity is likely. The greatest concerns will likely be from Friday through Sunday due to the drier and windier conditions across the interior. Fire potential remains mainly concentrated in cured lower elevation grasses, though heavier dead fuels and low to mid elevation brush could start to show increased receptivity as well as drying trends continue. That's it for today's webcast. Thanks for joining us. The next one will be on Thursday, May 14th.